Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first session of 2022. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Defender for Office 365. And as you know, if you've done any of these with us in the past, it's a fairly informal process. We would love to have questions from you. Feel free to drop those into the chat. I will try to see those. I know LinkedIn Live folks, it doesn't let me send those directly to you or information directly to and from through our platform, but it does with Facebook and YouTube. So I'll try to jump over and check out LinkedIn as well to make sure we're doing that. With that being said, this is our Microsoft 365 series, and we talk about all the different Microsoft 365 products, and we're trying to do that from a perspective of the user, making sure that you understand what you have with your services and that you can use them appropriately and to the best of your ability. So thankfully, I'm the marketing girl, so I don't know a whole lot about the back end and all the details of these products. So I learn right along with you. I will monitor the chat, the Q&A, all that stuff to make sure we can ask questions of Katie, because Katie is our product and training specialist, and she is going to be the one who walks you through this. So she's going to talk to us today about Microsoft Defender for Office 365. And I, again, will watch that chat and try to answer your questions as we go. So without further ado, here's Katie Kramer.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Amy, and welcome everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day. So we are kind of going to do a deep dive into Microsoft Defender. So it is bundled with your Microsoft 365 business subscription. Typically, we like to do these webinars based on both business and personal use. So today is a little bit more on the business side of things, but it also is available for home use as well. Whoops, sorry, lost my slide. So just to give you a little bit of history, so it was first released as a downloadable free anti-spyware program for Windows XP. And then later it was shipped with Windows Vista and Windows 7. So it has evolved into a full antivirus program, replacing Microsoft Security Essentials as part of Windows 8 and later versions. We want to help you understand why Microsoft charges the price that they do and let you tap into these extra features that are included with your subscription, but you don't take advantage of them, maybe just because you don't know what they are or you don't know how to use them. So the way people communicate and collaborate is becoming easier, but that ease comes with an increased risk of criminals looking to exploit it. Microsoft Defender for Office 365 provides a cloud-based filtering service with zero-day protection against malicious threats posed by email messages, links, attachments, and collaboration tools. I apologize, my slides don't want to go today.
So you're stuck a little bit today.
I am stuck.
A little frozen. It happens to the best of us. I am also on the LinkedIn stream. So for those of you who are on LinkedIn, I was able to get logged in there as well. So if you have questions, go ahead and add those in there as well.
There we go. All right, so Microsoft Defender for Office 365 includes threat protection policies. So in addition to a set of default policies, you can define threat protection policies to set the appropriate level of protection for your organization. There are reports that are available, so you can view real-time reports to monitor Defender for Office 365 performance in your organization. You can do this, or you can have your IT company do this for you. Threat investigation and response capabilities. So you can use leading edge features to investigate, understand, simulate, and prevent the threats. Automated investigation and response capabilities save time and effort investigating and mitigating those threats. Automated incident response capabilities include automated investigation processes in response to well-known threats that exist today. So an important consideration for you and your team is to decide what capabilities or features you want out of Microsoft Defender for Office 365. So there are currently 2 plans that you can choose from. So Plan 1 focuses on configuration, protection, and detection capabilities. Then Plan 2 has all the capabilities of Plan 1, but adds automation, investigation, and remediation to it. So safe attachments protect against unknown malware and viruses and provide 0-day protection to safeguard your messaging system. So all messages and attachments that don't have a known virus or malware signature are routed to a special environment where Defender for Office 365 uses a variety of machine learning and analysis techniques to detect malicious intent. If no suspicious activity is detected, the message is released for delivery to the mailbox. Then there's also safe links. So the safe links feature proactively protects users from malicious URLs in a message or in an Office document. The protection remains every time they select the link, as malicious links are dynamically blocked while good links can be accessed. Safe links is available for URLs in the following apps. So Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise on Windows or Mac, Office for the web, so Word for the web, Excel for the web, those different applications. Then there's also Word and Excel and PowerPoint on Windows, and then also our favorite Microsoft Teams, channels, and chats. Safe attachments for SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams. So this protection helps detect and block files that are identified as malicious in team sites and document libraries. So in addition, Safe Links protection is now available in Microsoft Teams, chats, and channels. So impersonation protection. So impersonation is where the sender or the sender's email domain in a message looks similar to a real sender or domain. So an example of impersonation of the domain could be putting accents on different letters. So if it looks like it's coming from a different, maybe a different country. And then an example of an impersonation of the user could be a spelling in the name change. So let's say that it's someone named Michelle, and Michelle has 2 L's, and this version of Michelle's email is only with 1 L. Then there's also real-time detection. So that is a real-time report that lets authorized users identify and analyze recent threats. So this is similar to Explorer. By default, this report shows data for the last 7 days. Real-time detections contain views such as malware for email detection, submissions, and phish.
I have to say, I love the safe links.
It's a lifesaver. Sorry, my PowerPoint doesn't want to keep going. There we go. All right, and then Plan 2. So that includes all the features that are included in Plan 1. Plus, there are also the threat trackers. So those are widgets and views that provide you with the intelligence on different cybersecurity issues that might impact your business. So for example, you can view information about trending malware campaigns using threat trackers. And then Threat Explorer, so this is also referred to just as Explorer, is a real-time report that lets users identify and analyze recent threats. So by default, this report shows data for the past 7 days. However, views can be modified to show data for the past 30 days. So Explorer contains views such as malware for email and content, submissions, phish, and all email. So automated investigation and response capabilities in Defender for Office 365 Plan 2 let you run automated investigation processes in response to well-known threats that exist today. So by automating certain investigation tasks, your security operations team can operate more efficiently and effectively. So remediation actions such as deleting malicious email messages are taken upon approval by your security operations team. So, and then attack simulation and training. So that's also just another way to educate your staff and help them keep up to date on the latest threats and what to do if they would receive a malicious email. So the Microsoft Defender for Office 365 protection stack provides multiple layers of security protection to all incoming messages. So the stack comprises of 4 different parts. So there's edge protection, sender intelligence, content filtering, and post-delivery protection, with each layering checking different type of threats. So typically a message will pass through each of the layers. However, the actual route through each part depends on how you're configured. And then the edge protection layer and edge blocks should not be confused with the Edge browser. So Microsoft Edge is what they use for their browser. So it's different than Google Chrome, even though it's based on the same technology that Chrome uses. Edge browser and using this edge protection layer, they are different. So
I was going to make sure you did mention that, because I know that confuses people sometimes, that they're both named Edge, but this is a totally different thing. It's not the Edge browser.
Yep. So the edge protection layer is the first point of contact for an inbound message. So it is made up of edge blocks that run automatically. Each edge block handles a different aspect or of protection, from network and IP reputation, throttling, through directory-based edge filtering and backscatter detection. And then the next layer in protection stack is sender intelligence. So the focus of this layer is identifying the validity of the message sender. This layer checks each message for indicators of a compromised account, for spam, spoofing, that the email sender is authorized and authenticated, and that the mailbox behaves within tolerance. So you and your security team can configure each of these features to meet your organization's needs. And this is just kind of talking through the many different layers. And I know this is probably way beyond what a lot of users care about. But again, we want to make sure that people understand what they're paying for when they are purchasing their Microsoft 365 subscriptions.
And Katie, too, if they ever don't, let's say they have Microsoft 365 through us, and they don't understand something that is in their stack or something that's going on, what can they do?
So I think the best thing is just to give us a call, and we are more than happy to work with your IT team or with you and help explain it and kind of break it down so it makes sense. I know a lot of times too, some of these different layers can be a little too hypersensitive. And, then they start blocking messages. Like, let's say that you use your email system for your invoicing or things like that. Or for whatever reason, you're not getting emails from different companies that you work with. So all of those settings can be adjusted. It is customizable. By default, it comes out with their standard set of rules. And a lot of it is just based on whatever the current threats are, the current threat landscape.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, and then the next layer in protection stack is the content filtering. So again, this is kind of where things tend to get stuck. So this is it contains the mail flow rules. And that's going to be what evaluates all messages that flow through your organization based on the conditions, exceptions, and actions of the enabled mail flow rules. And then this is also part of the antivirus, and 2/3 party antivirus engines are used to detect all known malware and attachments. And then there's the common attachment filtering, the reputation blocking, and the different machine learning models. And also like the URL reputation blocking. So a lot of times now you can put like different sensitivity labels on your emails. And that's just letting people know that, yes, there is a link contained. Make sure that you hover over that link and see where it's actually going before you click on it. Make sure that the spelling is correct and that it's taking you to the site that you think you are going to. And this slide is just a little bit more on that content filtering layer. And then there's the post-delivery protection layer. So the last layer in the protection stack is this post-delivery protection. So this persistent layer manages how users interact with files and links, not just in their mailboxes, but across other collaborative tools like Microsoft Teams. So this is where Teams and SharePoint kind of come into play with all the different sharing. So, and again, this is going to be your safe links, your 0-hour auto purge, your for malware and spam, and then also your campaign views. So that lets you see the bigger picture of an attack by using the vast amounts of anti-phishing, anti-spam, and anti-malware data across the entire service. So, any questions so far, Amy? I know it's a lot. It is a deep dive. So, but again, I wanted to go through and just kind of explain. I know a lot of times people have those questions about why is my email getting lost or stuck or what's happening to these messages. So, or just understanding like, why is it so expensive? So I just want to talk through kind of what's included.
Yeah, and I appreciate that very much, Katie. I know we try to focus on the user experience and what you will, as a person, do with these tools. However, this is one of those tools that's always running in the background, right? And so you may not be specifically doing something with this all the time. After it's set up, it's just kind of rolling in the background. But like Katie said before, if you notice something's happening where you're not getting a message, this may be blocking it. And sometimes it's blocking it for good reason. Being in marketing, I can tell you that writing marketing copy has changed because of tools like this, because you can't use the big bold free anymore. You don't want to do those types of things because they often get marked as spam. I don't see any questions coming in per se for the different platforms. So if you have those questions, feel free to throw those in there now. Also, I did mention in the chat as well, if you have any ideas for future topics, we will gladly take those as well.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure that we are answering your questions. So even if it's not something that's within our normal training webinar schedule, meaning we do this every first and third Wednesday of each month, and we have the first quarter already mapped out, and we'll be sharing that with more information with you on that later. But if it's not in that schedule and there's still something important that we want to get out there, we can go live another time. We can add another video out there. We can share some information on that if that's something you would like, or we can add it to the next series as well. So just let us know if you have that out there. Any questions with your Microsoft 365, especially the user experience. We want to make sure that you are utilizing all of your tools and utilizing them to their fullest potential and their best ability to help you be productive.
Perfect. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about the portal. So the portal it's going to be that area that you can go to look for your protection, detection, investigation, and response regarding email, collaboration, identity, and device threats. So the Microsoft 365 Defender portal provides you with quick access to information presented in a simple layout that combines related information for easier use. So, and it kind of does that by bringing information into a unified set of experiences. So this is for incidents and alerts, hunting, action center, and threat analytics. So here you can see when you select an incident name, it displays a page showing an incident from multiple sources. So that kind of helps you narrow down where it's coming from and try and figure out how to react to it. So the common controls appear in the same place, or they are condensed into one feed of data, for example, under unified settings. So you don't have to look all over the place to see the information for all these different threats. So the Microsoft 365 Defender portal provides a view of threat-related incidents. These incidents are aggregate into an end-to-end attack story that encompasses multiple threat vectors from Microsoft Defender for endpoint and Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which can simplify and speed up your investigation. So the use of Microsoft Defender for endpoint and Microsoft Defender for Office 365 data requires an appropriate license, which we talked about a little bit earlier. And then also both services have to be deployed. And again, they can both be customized to suit your needs. And that is it for today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat.
Yes, and you can also ask questions if it's outside of this. You can send us a message on any of our platforms, and we will do our best to get back to you there as well. As email us at sales@ttech.com. I'll put that here in the chat right now. And those are all options. So sales@ttech.com, and also any of our social media platforms. I will monitor those and make sure that we get those questions out there, and our team will check everything out and get an answer to you or get something put together to do a presentation for you. All right. I think we're good to go.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, Katie. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, you
Have
too.
a great day, everyone.